in Chicago. I am at least. And you were born about 3 hours west in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Is that correct?
Yeah, legally yeah, legally 3 hours. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Chicago, so I was able to make it like 2 minutes, 2 hours, 15 minutes, because I knew where all the speed traps were. Yeah, but born and raised there. Still have a ton of family that lives in Chicago. My mother's sister, used to be two sisters, but one of them passed away, and tons of cousins and oh my God, aunties, uncles. It's we deep on the South Side. Let me just say it like that.
Indeed, indeed. And when you think about that journey from Grand Rapids to your work with the commission to the solo albums, all of the solo albums you've recorded, what comes to mind for you when you think about just that journey you've been on?
I'm amazed, man. I mean, like really, I'm literally amazed and blown away that a small town boy growing up in the second largest city in the state of Michigan, but still very small by comparison to where I am now. That God would choose to use someone um, from meek and humble beginnings to allow me to achieve a lot of the things that I've been able to achieve and accomplished. And I know that it has to do with my work ethic, but I also recognize that it's because of God's grace and His mercy as well. So, I'm forever honored and always humbled uh, that He's allowed me to do some of the things that a lot of gospel artists have never done and probably will never do.
So, speaking of Chicago, right, and speaking of this latest chapter in your journey, you are going to be recording a live album in the Chicago area. Can you talk about what made you choose Chicago to record here in particular?
Well, I mean, over my career, Chicago has always been a place that has been extremely supportive of my music. Back in the day when we sold these things that they called like CDs, and when we sold when we sold LPs and cassettes, honestly, when I first started, that's what we were doing over 30 years ago. Chicago was one of my top selling markets. Actually, it was in the top five. And, 30 plus years later, I was like, where can I go to do a live record, especially wanting to do it. Um, I'm doing it on my own label, uh, totally, completely funding it myself. And I was like, where would be a great place to do it? And I was like, you know what? Chicago would be perfect. And the reason why I feel like Chicago would be perfect is because of that, my, having a strong base there, people that absolutely love me. My band, believe it or not, for the last 25 plus years, based out of Chicago. And then my music director is the pastor of the church that I'm going to be doing the live recording, Pastor Ray Beatty. So, I mean, like, it's like coming home to family, and it's a safe place and a safe space. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, even though I may not act like it right now, but I'm really, really excited because I believe that it's going to be an amazing moment and people are going to see something and experience something that's going to be transformative.